It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA. We're joined by the legends Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And coming right up, we'll see this home squad playing against the San Antonio Spurs. So for the Spurs, their last game, a win against New York. That game was a dominant performance. Always nice to win one going away, but it's just one game, and they'll be ready to go tonight. He was one of the bigger stories of the offseason. LaMarcus Aldridge, courted by many, but ultimately decided to come home to Texas, the state he grew up in. What does he provide this new team, Shaq?
Well, the good thing about Aldridge is he can fit in well with the group that is already in place. Doesn't need a ton of touches to be productive, but when he gets it, he's going to shoot at an impressive rate.
Well, he'll have a little bit of pressure on him.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg alongside. And our sideline reporter tonight is Doris Burke. So for the Spurs, their last game, a win against the New York Knicks. It was just a textbook performance. That game was all theirs. Once they got it going, it was full speed ahead.
And I believe what that game came down to was their ability to really knock down those triples.
Yeah, I thought the work they did on the perimeter was excellent. It was just too much for that defense, or really any defense for that matter, to handle.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Pau Gasol is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Parker in at the one spot. Here's Green off the inbound pass. Rebound by Garcia. Evans goes in. The shot will not go. Great D that time from Leonard. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long, Clark, as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
Nice shot by Evans.
And Clark, that's really deflating for a team to cough up the ball and have it turn into points immediately on the other end.
You know, Greg, it feels like giving up two baskets, the one you didn't get, and then the one you allow the opponent to get.
Here's Parker after Tyreke Evans has scored. Parker kicks to Gasol and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
And with Pau, that 46-point game, he became the oldest player to get 45 points and 15 rebounds. And a final point, guys, with Pau's career game, it's crazy to think that he did it while not being the first offensive option. I mean, he had been the go-to guy with his time in Memphis for so long.
Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too.
Talking about Pau and brother Mark, both of them were excellent last season. The difference is that Pau has always been considered a great prospect, so detractors are much harder on him when they see cracks, I think, Greg, in his game.
Yeah, you know, for Marc Gasol, it can only exceed expectations because they started out so low. I'd simply say that if I had to pick between one or the other for best career, I'd do everything I could to pick both.
Good way to get out of it. Good answer. Parker's shot is off.
And trying to come up with the highlight reel finish, somebody forgot to finish it.
Here's Baker. The basket is good. The assist from Stockton. Cowboys got his first bucket in this one. And here is Parker. Leonard with no one around. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Evans dishes to Moreland. The rebound by the Spurs.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Parker outside. The feed to Green. There's the three. That's good. Green's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three.
A lot of times in the first quarter, it will dictate how big a role a player has later on.
Stockton right side. Plenty of space. Gasol with the rebound.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly. That's the right look. The decision was good. He just didn't execute.
Leonard attacking, and that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Here's Green. Aldridge a screen. Down low. And that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession. And at last, they get one to fall. Aldridge has got his first points of the night. Gone 2 of 6 from the field. Stockton against Green. Lets it go from 11. Stockton can't get that one to fall. San Antonio leading.
There are certain things, guys, that you can always count on in life. Death, taxes, and, of course, the Spurs winning 50 games in the regular season. Happened for the 16th straight season last year.
Inside, Gasol with the steal. Leonard kicks to Green, and that one's good. Green's got 8. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Stockton passes to Garcia. There's the dish to Moreland, looking to end the run, and he lays it up and in.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Spurs leading by 4. Gasol kicks to Parker. Gasol a screen. Leonard on the wing. Shoots from the corner. Denied for the third time. He's 0 for 3. Gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Moreland passes to Stockton. Misses the 3. Here's San Antonio now. They've outscored him 10 points to 2 during this run. Good looking screen by Gasol. It's Parker with the drive. And a missed layup.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
And Garcia kicks to Moreland. Here's Evans. Buries it from 3-point range. Evans has got his second basket of the night.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
And offensively, they've been struggling. He just wants to get them back into a good flow and stop forcing shots.
Well, Greg, the misses started piling up. Things kind of snowballed on him in that regard. This is a good timeout to kind of calm his guys down and hit the reset button.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
Yeah, and they swept this matchup the 2 times they played last year. They held the advantage on paper and on the court.
Yeah, exactly. An interconference matchup here. Not a lot of familiarity, but I wouldn't say they caught them off guard. There's a reason one team was in the playoffs and the other team was watching.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. San Antonio with the ball.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
.110 left to play in the first. Gordon dishes to Thabit. Thornton passes to Thabit, and the layup's good off the glass. And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the third fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
Thornton against Ginobili. And the basket by Thornton. Thornton's got his first basket of the night.
You have to be disciplined on defense, Kevin. Biting on every pump fake isn't going to get it done.
Ginobili kicks to Lee. Mills dishes to Ginobili. Spurs passing it around. Here's Mills. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But boy, that was a nice job.
And the lead goes right back. What a seesaw affair we've got going on.
This game's right there for the taking, but neither team can quite grab hold of it. Like a slippery bar of soap there. Somebody's got to take charge here.
Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. The home team, they're up by 1. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And we had the chance to catch up with Greg Popovich, and he talked about how he felt Tony Parker ranks among the league's best point guards.
To be in the conversation, I think, is totally appropriate. And Tony is very often not even in the conversation when people talk about top 10 guards and that sort of thing, which has always amazed me. All you hear is all the other names of whoever the new young guard is. And there's a lot of great ones. But to leave his name out seems ridiculous to me.
Not breaking it down and telling it like it is as usual, Clark. You got to love having a guy like that as your coach.
Without question. I mean, you have no idea how huge that is for a player to get that kind of support and backing from his coach. Is Tony Parker a great all-star and champion? In my book, absolutely, without question. But would he have reached that level without Greg Popovich as his coach? I think even Tony would tell you, probably not.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And guys, what's your take on the home team so far?
This is almost like a volleyball game when you watch just how many shots they blocked or altered.
Well, how about this? A lot of side outs for them the way they swatted shots away. That's a volleyball term, by the way, folks.
Yeah, or handball.
Or handball.
Yeah, either one of the two. They're knocking a lot away.
Yeah.
On the court for San Antonio. Mills and Manu at the guards. David Lee is out there with Dwayne Dedmon, and it's Anderson in at the small forward position. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's on Kawhi Leonard. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for San Antonio.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
Baker, he's checked in for Marcus Thornton. The Spurs also changing it up. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Anderson. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Patty Mills. Kawhi Leonard, with another great season last year, earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times.
And Parker, here we go. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way. Parker's got his first points of the game. Evans against Leonard. Evans kicks to Moreland. Parker with it. To the middle. Kicks it out to Leonard. Gets a very good look and converts. Now it's a 5-point Spurs lead.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
And the shot is good.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting. Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Yeah, and it should help them increase their separation here. I mean, this has been an impressive offensive output.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. Pass to Stockton. Blanketed by the D. Fights to the rim for the layup. Stockton's got his first points of the night.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
To the middle. It's deflected. Here's Garcia, and he finishes nicely on the layup.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Pass to Gasol. Green inside the three-point line. It's rebounded by Moreland. Gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Now the pass to Stevenson. Kicks to Garcia. Here's Cowboy. Aldridge is covering. Here's Baker. Shot is no good. Good D by Gasol. Spurs leading by 4. Parker passes to Green. Now here's Gasol. Defense is right there. Parker outside. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
Good job there by Leonard setting that screen.
Around 43% from the floor in the second quarter. Here's Garcia. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Aldridge dishes to Parker. Lets the 3 fly. No good. Gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Stockton kicks to Moreland. Pulls it from the elbow. And he knocks down the jumper. And it's 7 points for Parker.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around. Stockton against Green. The shot misses. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. On the wing, Green. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. Green passes to Leonard. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. And now it's an 11-point Spurs lead.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Stevenson dishes to Garcia. And stolen by Aldridge. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. Gasol kicks to Aldridge.
Ooh, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contacts and a good call by the officials.
At the line, Francisco Garcia.
He hits the second from the line.
They've been getting more and more physical as this game has gone along.
And it's starting to pay dividends. They've gotten a lot of trips to the line because of it in this second.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
That's good.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Now here's Mills, covered by Evans. Mills passes to Lee. Gets flushed down with a nice jam.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. It's the Spurs up by 12. And now we'll send it down.
Tony, you guys have seemed to be in a good groove lately, taking a...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny the Jet Smith. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. The second quarter was all theirs. Major uptick in offensive and defensive intensity as they did their jobs with precision. Now sitting on a... And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is...
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
And he just went off in those first 2 quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
You know, guys, I think you've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him up like he has been.
We've got Tyreke Evans. Stockton is out there with Cowboy. Then there's Garcia. And that's the group for Brett Brown as we begin the second half. High arcing shot. Leonard, no luck.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Well, you know that Kawhi Leonard has an incredible reach with his arms, but even his hands are just massive, measured at 10 inches long and 11 inches wide. Wow.
Passes it to Aldridge. Parker outside. Gasol setting the pick for Parker. Lock at 6. He dishes it to Gasol. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got 5 assists in the game. Well, to give some perspective on Leonard's hand size that Greg was talking about, Clark, those measurements, 11 by 10, are what you typically would find on 7-footers. Well, this kid's 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, and I'm 6'9", and I'm about 9 by 7, okay?
Huh.
So that just lets you know.
Wow.
The only other hands comparable to that, Dr. J.
Ooh, yes, huge. Moreland kicks to Garcia. Leonard with the steal. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. Got a hand on it. And that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession. Ben Gordon's checked in for Stockton.
Yeah, it looks like he saw some things out there that need to be adjusted, and it's going to take a break here and talk it over.
Hey, you know, coaches sometimes need a break in the action to rethink and retool a bit. Anytime you're in that situation, it makes sense to use the timeout.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
And Tony Parker, at least some of his success can be attributed to playing with talented bigs. I mean, in his rookie season, he plays with both the Admiral and Tim Duncan. He kept that partnership going with Duncan for several more championships. So while talented, he's also been very fortunate.
Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. The 3 from Leonard. Count it, number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11.
Well, what a smart pass that time by Aldridge.
Well, talking about Parker and the bigs, Tony benefited from their presence, Clark, but they also benefited from his play.
Really, early in their careers, the only way to defend Parker and Duncan was to pack the lane, and once Tony developed a consistent jump shot, the only way to defend them was to hope and pray.
Right. Spurs leading by 9. Dishes to Gasol. Shot from the low block. It's deflected, and he's able to get it back. The Shake rips in the dunk off the timely pump fake.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense, they're hanging their heads in their chest now.
Thornton against Parker. Feeds it to Leonard. The 17-footer. Another one falls for San Antonio.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
The feed to Outlaw. Takes a three. It's rebounded by Aldridge. Aldridge has got 3 rebounds now in this one. Parker dishes to Leonard. Puts up a 3. And it's the beat with the rebound. Gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Novak, the pass to Thornton. Leonard with the steal. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play.
You have to be disciplined on defense, Kevin. Biting on every pump fake isn't going to get it done.
Parker kicks to Green. He feeds it to Aldridge. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Here's Gasol. And the shot is long. Gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Outlaw dishes to Thabit. And here's Thornton outside. The shot is off. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. It's off to Boston for them after this game as they take on the Celtics. That'll be the second on the road in the midst of this long 4-game road stand.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Spurs leading by 13. Parker passes to Green. Off target with his 3. Gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. Here's the beat. Rebound San Antonio. Aldridge has got 5 rebounds tonight. And the wide open shot from Green. Again, the miss by Green.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
Novak kicks to the beat. The dish to Gordon. That is good.
So far, going for more of an inside game here in this second half, and I like that. A little smash mouth basketball, taking it inside.
Parker against Thornton. Parker dishes to Aldridge. The rebound by Outlaw. Gone 2 of 5 with the 3-point shot since coming out of the break. Novak outside. Rebound San Antonio. Gasol's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Leonard attacking. Aldridge, the pass to Leonard. Parker outside. He kicks it to Gasol. Fades away. The shot is off.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Spurs lead by 11. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. On the court right now for the Spurs, Mills and Manu at the guards. Anderson is out there with David Lee, and it's Dedmon in at the center position. Screen by Lee. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Lee's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Spurs. Pass to Garcia. Lee with the steal. And Cowboys going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul.
Here's Ginobili. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Yes,
and a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Spurs.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they've forced. and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
Here's Baker. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup.
What a drive there. It didn't bother him at all to have a much taller defender hanging all over him.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. He was propping his guys up for their defensive pressure, saying, listen, the pressure you put on them has been fantastic. Keep pestering them, keep forcing turnovers, and we'll be in a great position to win this thing.
And David Lee missing time early last season with that hamstring injury also opened the door up for Draymond Green to kind of take that starting power forward role. And give Lee credit, though. Didn't sulk, just threw himself into his new role as a super sub.
And he's good on the second.
Timeout call.
Greg, you're talking about David Lee, the two-time All-Star. Pretty much a starter most of his career, though a big change, Clark, as he came off the bench this past season after he was injured in the preseason.
Yeah, you know, you think about his game, though, Kevin. Highly skilled, mobile, smart. Gives you energy and scoring. I think he's ideal coming off the bench.
Outside, Garcia. The three. Good D by Lee. San Antonio leading by 12. And the layup's good off the glass. Lee's got 5 points now this quarter.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
But they get it back. Kicks it out to Evans. The three-pointer is right on target.
Dropping bombs. How many more threes are we going to see from him tonight?
Well, we've already seen plenty. I mean, he's got more points from outside the arc than inside of it so far.
Pass to Ginobili. Another one falls for San Antonio.
Boy, Kevin, right there, Ginobili showed you as pretty a stroke as there is.
Evans kicks to Moreland. Kicks it out to Evans. Three-pointer, Stockton. There's the bucket. Good.
Maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that D can afford to give him.
Mills with it. Picked up by Stockton. Screen by Lee. And Anderson kicks to Lee. And the Spurs scoring again.
Lee getting it done with some nice baskets.
Gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Three-pointer, Stockton. Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. He'll head to the line.
Yeah, good job trying to get a hand in the face, but you've got to be more careful.
Especially on the three-point attempt. I mean, you have to defend that shot without fouling. Now you give a guy 3 free throws.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Leonard, he's checked in for Anderson, and Tony Parker subbed in for Patty Mills.
And the Executive of the Year award is an odd one. I mean, given yearly to the executive that was deemed to have had the best year with their roster, that is perhaps the hardest thing to evaluate.
Here's Lee. Rebound by Garcia.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Here's Cowboy. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits. Cowboys got 4 points in the quarter. And for the Executive of the Year award, it's hard to evaluate because for GMs, Clark, it takes years of moves to reach a certain point.
Yeah, it's an annual award, but it's awarded for years of decisions, if that makes any sense. One big sign in a trade isn't quite enough to win the award.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Evans dishes to Stockton. From past the arc. The offensive rebound. Here's Baker. Stockton outside. Goes up again. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
Spurs leading by 12. Ginobili kicks to Dedmon. Parker with it. Picked up by Stockton. And that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Gasol comes in for Dwayne Dedmon, and it's LaMarcus Aldridge in for David Lee. It's tipped. Moreland with the bucket. 1:14 left in the fourth quarter. San Antonio's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. They're 6 of 13.
And now as the clock ticks down, this is going to end up as a solid victory here for the Spurs.
And the big difference here was accuracy behind the three-point line, Clark.
Well, they started spraying them from deep, and then it spread out the defense, and they had all the looks they wanted.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And that next meeting, Greg, will be their second and final game of the season series, being in opposite conferences. So you bet nobody wants to get swept even in the 2-game season series. I think the next game will be hotly contested.
And we've come to expect nothing less from one of the league's elite players, but another tour de force for Kawhi Leonard. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
Aldridge, good.
Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
Clear case here, partner, of saving their best for last. Quite a run.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Evans' shot is good.
They clearly look like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got some energy out on the floor.
Yeah, but it's come a little too late to have a real impact on the game, though. We call this box score window dressing. All it's going to do is make the numbers look a little better than it was.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Guys, I'm here with Tony Parker. And Tony, there was an intensity to the way this team played. Were you guys amped up?
We were motivated tonight. You know, today we were on a mission. We want to make a statement, and we played great basketball, great ball movement. Everybody wasn't selfish. We shot the ball a lot better, and we played great defense.
Statement delivered, mission accomplished. Nice win, Tony. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now the award-winning Ernie Johnson will take it from here. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.
There was nothing they could do to slow him down, Ernie. Man, go into a building on the road and completely control the action like he did. Only a few players could do that, Ernie. I'm impressed.
There's no question about it. As far as small forwards go, Kawhi Leonard is right up there with the best of them. You know if you leave him open, he's going to knock it down every look he gets. But what makes him elite is his stifling brand of D.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.
the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to
It's game time here in Miami as the crowds at the American Airlines Arena look to cheer on the hometown Heat. For the Miami Heat, they are coming off a good outing against the Jazz.
You're not always going to shoot it as well as they did from three-point range to win that game, but it certainly doesn't hurt. And in that game, boy, did they shoot it lights out from beyond.
Lights out is a real good way to describe it. Just take a peek at the box score. I mean, their percentage from deep was off the charts.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. They've got Steve Novak. Thornton out there with Stockton. Then it's Lance Stevenson. Dragic against Stockton. Reed a screen on Stockton. It's Dragic with the drive. Off on the layup. Heat on D.
Yeah, and they took care of business against this group last year, winning the season series.
Yeah, Greg, you're right. They're the better team. I mean, they expect to win this matchup. We'll see if they can take care of business tonight.
Now, here's Dragic. He had 13 points in the win against Utah. Reed a screen. In the corner, Winslow with it. The tray. No good.
And one thing we know about Justice Winslow, he is great on the big stage. He was amazing in the tournament for Duke a season ago. Got better and better as he helped his school capture the national championship.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
With Winslow, it's all about improvement and being great on the big stage. I think he can do that, Greg. You talked about, what he did in that national championship run. Clark, he was a fantastic foundation to begin with.
Yeah, you know what? He's not got many holes in his game. Solid at the defensive end, can score a lot of ways, puts his hands on winning at both ends of the floor.
Lets it go with a three. Cannot hit. Some solid defense from Reed. Dragic left side. Back to Richardson. Good ball movement here by Miami. To the wing right side. Winslow wide open. He fires. That's it, coming off an assist from Dragic. Winslow's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Pass to Novak. Reed with the steal. Dragic kicks to Bosch. Feeds it to Reed. Bosch, that's the pick for Dragic. To the inside. Bosch with the bucket.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Now here's Stockton. Chris Bosch with the rebound.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat, but he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous. And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Stockton from outside. And yes, sir, that one drops.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
For Miami, they've gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Greg, as you said, Spoelstra has been with the Heat for so long now in his 8th season. He was handpicked by Pat Riley to lead the team, and Clark kind of molded him in his image.
And it was clear that Pat Riley believes in him and continues to believe in him. Coach Spoelstra has had very high expectations on his shoulders ever since taking over the team, and he's actually lived up to them.
The shot by Moreland, no good.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Now here's Dragic. Wash kicks to Richardson. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. The pass to Moreland. He dishes it to Stevenson. Takes the 12-footer and hits.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Miami trailing. And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year, and as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball.
A different look for Miami. Dion Waiters checked in for Reed. Tyler Johnson comes in for Richardson. And it's Weber in for Goran Dragic. 1:32 left in the first quarter. Johnson kicks to Weber. Wash inside. He picked up 33 points in their last win against Utah.
And he also made an impact on defense, guys. 3 block shots over the course of the game. And one reason why the Heat did come up short in their playoff aspirations, they were very poor against other teams in the playoffs. So only went 15-31 against teams that had made it into the postseason last year.
And while we can, here's a look at the teams that had the fastest hands in the league last season.
You know, I don't know if the numbers even told the story. I mean, their defense was as good as it gets, often just leaving their opponents completely demoralized.
That misses, so he splits the free throws.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
And because it's still early, I wouldn't read too much into it. There's still a lot of game left.
To the paint, got a piece of it. Stolen by Weber. Here's Waiters. Good, and Weber gets the assist. Waiters got his first 2 points.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
Right wing. Outlaw the pass to Thabit. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
The lead changes hands once more. There has been no separation between these two teams.
You know, it's made for one heck of an entertaining game. Even when it hasn't been the best basketball being played, it sure has been fun to watch. Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
Guys, no one team gaining control early on.
Give and take, back and forth, the whole way thus far.
Yeah, and you look at the lead changes, 6 already.
Outside Bosch. Great D on that shot, and it's off the mark. And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. The away team, they lead by 1. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena.
Give it up for your Heat Dancers.
Now we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the visiting team, what do you think?
Really, it's always a positive when you can get some impact off your bench.
Always nice to have firepower coming from the reserves, and they've had firepower and then some so far.
They've got fresh. Steve Novak is out there with the prodigy. Then there's Tyreek Evans, and it's Thornton in at the 2 spot. Well, a scary moment for Chris Bosh last year. Had to be shut down Greg, as we all know, for the season after a blood clot was found in his lung.
You know, and Kevin, it really puts basketball in perspective. I mean, it happened right after the trade deadline, and obviously a huge blow to the Heat in terms of their push for the postseason. But fortunately, it looks like he's going to make a full recovery and have a huge impact this season.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Richardson, he's checked in for Waiters, and it's Dragic in for Tyler Johnson. Evans passes to Fresh. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans.
You know, the Heat never really came back after losing Bosh. His presence on both ends of the floor is hard to replace, and they missed him a bunch.
Now here's Dragic, and the rejection by Evans. And they're moving it up. And it's Miami with the rebound. They'll be playing host to Portland for their next game. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team. And he recovers it. He had a nice open look right there. 6 points for Goran Dragic. Gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter.
Hey, guys, I know I speak for everybody. Glad to see Chris Bosh back out on the floor. I mean, blood clots can be a very scary thing for anyone. And I think everyone is happy he's been able to make a full recovery.
Now here's Dragic. He's got 6. Richardson, no luck.
But sometimes it's more about what the defense is doing. On that possession, they were all over him on the perimeter.
Here's Fresh. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. Fresh has got 5 points in the quarter.
Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Dragic kicks to Richardson. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And Clark, they might as well keep doing it. I mean, attack the basket until the defense makes an adjustment.
First team foul. Substitution, Eric Moore. Lance Stevenson.
And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Here's Simmons. That one a little long. Miami's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Stockton against Dragic. Wide open. Good as the jump shot falls. Dragic has got it all tied up now for the Heat. Gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Stockton dishes to Moreland. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
And the Heat call time here. Winslow's checked in for Chris Bosh. About 3 minutes played so far in this second quarter. Dragic kicks to Winslow. There's the pick. Richardson against Garcia. Outside Dragic. Kicks to Ellington. From the arc. Shot clock at 3. Here's Richardson. It's rebounded by Moreland. Moreland's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Dragic against Gordon. Stolen by Winslow. It's Dragic with the drive. Missed inside.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Here's Moreland. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Moreland's got 4 points this quarter.
Nice job getting inside for the layup. Got the deep thinking jump shot. Gave a little pump fake and then off to the races.
Dragic against Gordon. Reed a screen. The feed now to Ellington. Just 5 on the clock. The dish to Reed. Miami needs to get a shot off. And again, it's the Heat missing.
And it was a very public falling out between Goran Dragic and the Suns front office. That was a real tense few weeks there before ultimately he was traded.
And it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. So we'll see Ben Gordon go to the line here. That's our Goran Dragic. A different look for Miami. Dion Waiters checked in for Ellington. Tyler Johnson comes in for Richardson. And it's Weber in for Goran Dragic. And, of course, Dragic was traded to Miami last season. Said he felt betrayed by the Suns front office, which spurred him wanting out of Phoenix and to South Florida.
Yeah, you know what? We'll never know the whole truth about that situation, but Dragic said they told him one thing with personnel and did something else.
And that one's good by Novak.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Now here's Waiters. Now here's Johnson. Reed a screen. Johnson attacking. He got right to the cup using that screen. Johnson's got his first 2 points of the night.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Garcia inside. Johnson's there. It's Novak from outside, and he gets the bucket. Novak's got 5 now.
They're hovering around 50% for the game in three-pointers. That's pretty good. But they've really elevated here in the second quarter.
Reed a screen. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Johnson attacking. Rebound by Ben Gordon.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
And you know they'll be conscious of him next time they take it inside, too. I mean, that's what really good defenders do. They make you think about their presence.
And so that's the end of the first half. The away team leading by 10. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, we'll cook.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be taking a look back at the first half of basketball. Shaq, let's get your insight on the visiting team.
Well, the shots were dropping more. I mean, they were just dropping out of everywhere, dropping out the ceiling, dropping out the popcorn guy, man's hand, whatever. It didn't matter what the defense was. They found a way to get a good look almost every time. They just got to be patient, take as long as they need to keep finding those high percentage shots.
Kenny, what'd you think about Miami?
One problem is that they didn't show enough aggressiveness on the board. When you start losing a game, that's when you're supposed to tighten.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Give it up for your Heat.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. You have to like what we're seeing from Goran Dragic.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Winslow is out there with Reed. Then there's Dragic. Then there's Chris Bosh. And it's Richardson in at the shooting guard position. That's the group on the floor for Miami. Dragic gets the bucket.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Pass to Reed. He feeds it to Winslow. Good ball movement here by Miami. Bosh, a screen on Gordon. Dragic the pass to Bosh. Dishes it to Reed. And that one's good.
Great pass by Bosh there.
Gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Garcia. Cranes the three-pointer.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
The Heat trail by 12. Outside Dragic. In the corner, Winslow with it. Shoots. Here's Reed. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. The Heat shooting their first free throws of this one. He misses the free throw.
2.
And he's good on the second. 90 seconds now into the second half. Gordon dishes to Moreland. And he dunks it down.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
From deep, Richardson. It's rebounded by Moreland. Moreland's got 8 rebounds in this game. And Garcia kicks to Novak. Shoots it up. And the jumper is on the mark. Novak's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Boy, such... outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
It's Dragic with the drive. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Dragic has got 12 in the game. And one of Goran Dragic's greatest traits, Greg, excelling in the open court. High energy point guard, a lot like you, speed to burn, very smart guy, coveted by many.
He really is. And Kevin, he transitions from defense to offense as quickly as anyone in the league, a la Tony Parker, except he's also equally adept at facilitating for others and spotting up for the 3, or just taking it to the rack himself.
Here's Outlaw. Here's Moreland. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. 10 points for him.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Bosch passes to Richardson. Outside Bosch. Richardson dishes to Dragic. Inside. Here's Reed. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
And, you know, back to Goran Dragic, many of his transition opportunities start with his aggressive defense. Very active with his hands, has the instincts to jump passing lanes, the long arms, to pick off passes. Suddenly, when he gets a steal, he's off and running.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Dion Waiters checked in for Winslow. Johnson comes in for Richardson. And it's Weber in for Goran Dragic. And yes, sir, that one drops.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist. And talking about Goran Dragic, the one thing he has to be careful with is being over-aggressive on D. Reaching for steals makes you susceptible to blow-bys and escape dribbles, and that can lead to uncontested layups and dunks for your opponent.
Reed a screen. Weber kicks to Bosch. Good, and Weber gets the assist. 6 points for Chris Bosch.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Gordon kicks to Garcia. Out to the wing. Pass to Outlaw. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Outlaw's got 7 now in this quarter. The Heat trail by 13. And the Heat call time here.
You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit, and I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Bosch. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris.
Really good job there. That's the definition of the inside-out game.
Pass to Reed. Weber dishes to Johnson. Down low, Reed. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And look here at the Heat, how they ranked in the NBA last season. 6th in opponent points per game, 11th in field goal percentage. And they were in the top half of the league in steals as well. Pretty impressive.
And back to their ranking in terms of opponents' points per game. Kind of an old school stat, but sometimes pace of play can factor in. But make no mistake, they made things difficult for their opponent.
And the Heat making a change here. Ellington's checked in. Thornton passes to Thabit. Outside for Stockton. On its way from Thornton for 2. And it's Reed pulling it down.
Well, I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
Johnson against Thornton. Johnson kicks to Reed. Feeds to Ellington. He dishes it to Weber. Johnson attacking. Nice open look, but it's no good.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Shoots. Off target with that shot. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. The away team, they lead by 13. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Gone 5 of 9 when they put up the three-point shot tonight. Thornton out there with Garcia. Then there's Travis Outlaw. Then it's Stockton. And it's Thabit in at the center position. And the dunk by Winslow.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that. It's pretty one-handed flow. And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And, Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Waiters, he's checked in for Miami.
Dion Waiters.
Richardson kicks to Bosch. And it's Thabit with the rebound.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
Dragic against Thornton. Dragic kicks to Bosch. Good.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Here's the beat. Ball's knocked loose. Outlaw dishes to Thabit. And here's Thornton outside. No luck. Dragic with some nice D. The Heat trail by 11. And the lead is down inside single digits.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a one-footer. Come on now.
And Garcia kicks to Outlaw. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
Nice job creating for the easy deuce.
Dragic against Thornton. Now Dragic. The floater down to 5 on the shot clock. And the shot is good. That's 10 points for Chris Bosh.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
And Stockton, here we go. And it's sent back by Bosh. And here's the fast break. Richardson leading the way. Dragic the pass to Richardson. Waiters dishes to Dragic. Bosh sets the pick for Dragic. Back to Waiters. With some arc. Rebound by Garcia. Gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Stockton kicks to Outlaw. And the pass to Garcia. But they recover it. The beat dishes to Thornton. He kicks to Thabit. Another shot. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's on Chris Bosh. First free throw is good. And the Heat making a change here. Reed's checked in. Good on both.
And you know, the new court projection visuals, all the rage in the NBA now. Instead of having to use a screen over the court, they just project video and images straight onto the court. I think before long, you'll see it everywhere.
Gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Stockton passes to Thabit. There's the 3. Stockton, no good.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
Out to the right wing. And he stepped in the line, so they turn it over.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
And that one's good by Novak.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
And the Heat call time here. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, guys, I was able to listen in on what Eric Spoelstra was going over with his team in that last huddle. He is not pleased with the score and implored them to try to make a push right now, saying, we don't have time, fellas. If we can't make a dent soon, I'll have to pull the plug. Pretty blunt, Kevin. Back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. It's stolen by Dragic. Unloads from 9. Heat moving the ball around. And here's Richardson outside. Richardson missing again.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be. Firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
And it's Dragic off the drive. 8 for 15 with that made basket. But he's not satisfied yet.
Terrific effort on that shot. I mean, he's given up a lot of inches in that mismatch.
Well, height, who cares about height? I mean, it's just a number. Hey, you got to go with what you got. And he took what he had right at him there.
The Heat trail by 12. Here's Richardson. That's in coming off an assist from Dragic. Dragic has got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Balanced scoring, Clark, for him. They're moving it well.
Yeah, you love to see teams share the sugar. Everybody getting a touch, everybody enjoying an opportunity to score. That makes it a lot of fun for everybody on the court.
You know, it sounds better when you say it than watching it. Okay? It's like better when you say it. Sharing the sugar.
You might want to cut down on that sugar intake, though, Clark. But anyway, everybody's been involved in this offense here early on, and it has a way of helping you defensively.
Here's Stockton. Can't get it to go. Dragic with some nice D. Shot from the top of the key. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Novak kicks to Thornton. Sinks the three-pointer.
And this is going to be a fantastic result for them. No win on the road comes easy.
Not in the NBA, they don't. And trust me, they're going to take a little extra pleasure in this win, having silenced an entire building of hostile fans.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Stockton with it, now guarded by Dragic. Here is Novak. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there, and I'm sure he appreciated it.
And the offense has just operated really smoothly here in the open floor.
Yeah, and for them to reduce the lead, they should keep the pace brisk. I mean, that's how they've generated the highest quality shots.
Reed. No good. The visiting club takes the win on the road. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, gee, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And that about wraps it up.
The 2K Sports postgame show.